Hey everybody, Brian here. Welcome back to the channel. It's been about 3 weeks since Diablo 4 came out, and I've been nowhere to be found. I just want to say I apologize about that. I had essentially three groups of my family all come for about a week separately, back to back to back. So since the 3rd of June until I guess a little bit earlier this week. I've been just crazy busy spending time with family. Unfortunately, the timing with the Diablo 4 release was not ideal, and I apologize for that. But I'm trying to get back into it. So we have what we have now is I've spent about a day playing Diablo 4, and I'm gonna start playing more. I've been trying to save most of it for streaming and recording, try to make it more of an interactive experience. But with that being said, I don't have a lot of time tonight. My daughter's on a swim team, and I'm going to get up crazy early in the morning to go and support that. That being said, tonight what we are going to do is we're going to be make sure my sound levels are here. Okay, we're going to be reading the patch notes, right? So we've had quite a few patches since the game released, and make sure, where are we here? We'll minimize that. I was reading through them a little bit early. We're going to start with 1.0, point 2, Charlie, or C, right? This was a PC patch that was issued on June 2nd of this year for stability. Fixed an issue where players were using high-speed NVMe solid-state drives that would experience game freezes upon startup. Various issues that caused crashes have been fixed. So a fairly simple patch there. 1.0.2D is a little bit longer, and so I'm just going to read this. The point is, you could go look at it yourself if you so wish, but if you're clicking on my video, it's because you want me to read them to you. So I will be paraphrasing a little bit, but to start off, Blizzard says, "Hello, Wanderer. We've made some balance adjustments to classes. Want to provide our reasoning behind them. Overall, we're quite happy with the performance of our classes, but we know there is always room for improvement. Our goal behind these changes is to create a better balanced and enjoyable experience across the board. Our updates fall into three categories listed below: 1, 2, and 3. While we want players to both feel and be truly powerful, some class builds and synergies are outside of our bounds for what is reasonable for the health of the game, so we are reducing their effectiveness. As an example, we generally want to avoid creating situations where players can survive unreasonably high amounts of damage for long periods of time because it too greatly warps our vision for how combat should be in Diablo 4. Some skills and builds are not as effective as we would like, so we're pushing out some of the buffs to increase their strength. And then 3, Paragon glyphs are currently providing too much player power, so we're reducing their overall effectiveness. An ideal we have carried throughout development and will uphold is that class balance is a journey, not a destination. We want more class builds to be fun, powerful, and competitive within reason. Thank you for supporting us, and we'll see you in Sanctuary. Just below this, we have the 5 classes here and the patch note changes for them. So here we have Barbarian. Skill challenges to Challenging Shout. A damage reduction gained from skill ranks reduced from 4% to 2%. Legendary aspect changes. Bold Chieftain's aspect. The cooldown reduction per nearby enemy reduced from 2.7 to 5.4 seconds down to 1.0 to 1.9 seconds. The maximum cooldown reduction from 12 to 6 seconds. The next change will be Aspect of the Dire Whirlwind. Sorry to be all over the place here. Increased critical strike chance per second, reduced from 5 to 10%, down to 3 to 8%. And the maximum critical strike chance bonus reduced from 20% to 40%, down to 9 to 24%. Next were item changes for Barbarian. Gore's Devastating Grips. The explosion damage gain from Whirlwind reduced from 50 to 70% to 16 to 26%. Damage against wreckable objects no longer increases explosion damage, and explosion damage is only increased by the first 100 hits of Whirlwind. So these look like some maybe not massive changes, but definitely functional ones overall for the barbarian class. Keep in mind, I've only played for about a day, and then I was spending the next 3 weeks with family. So I literally am just reading these blind. Hopefully, as we go through the patch note history today to catch up, it'll give me a better sense of what major changes were made to the game. Lucky hit chance reduced from 33% to 25%. Lightning Storm has damage increased from 32% to 40%. Grizzly Rage has the maximum extended duration from kills reduced from 10 to 5 seconds. As for class specialization of the Druid, the Obsidian Slam, kills required for bonus increased from 10 to 20, meaning that you're going to need more kills to get that bonus. The Calm Before the Storm, the lucky hit chance reduced from 15% to 10%. Some passive changes for the Druid include Electric Shock. The damage bonus increased from 5, 10, and 15% respectively to 6, 12, and 18. So there we have a damage increase for the Druid with respect to Electric Shock. Some of the legendary aspect changes include the Shockwave aspect, damage reduced from 90 to 130%, down to 60 to 100%. The Crashstone aspect, critical strike damage reduced from 40 to 50%, down to 30 to 40%. And Lightning Dancer's aspect, flat damage increased from 0.5 to 0.6 to 0.7 to 0.8. So that's another damage increase right there. And that's it for the Druid. Next we have Necromancer. Here we go. Skill changes are Bloodlance, damage increased from 67.5% up to 80%. So a big damage increase for Bloodlance there. Army of the Dead. Sorry. Damage increased from 30% to 45%. Cooldown reduced from 90 to 70 seconds. And then Bloodwave. Damage increased from 90% up to 120%. Passive changes for the Necromancer include Shadow Blight. Damage increased from 20% to 22%. Grim Harvest. Essence gained reduced from 3, 6, and 9 respectively to 2, 4, and 6. Serration has had the critical strike chance reduced from 0.5, 1, 1.5% to 0.3, 0.6, and 0.9%. Death Defense, maximum minion life lost in a single damage instance reduced from 75, 60, and 45% over to 60, 45, and 30%. As for class specialization of the Necromancer, Raised Skeleton, the Skeletal Warrior, the Skeleton Warrior attack damage increased by 10%. Golem's attack damage has been increased by 10%. Blood Golem and the Blood Golem life drain damage increased from 40% to 90%. And the Blood Golem life drain healing from enemies hit increased from 4% to 5%. Iron Golem slam damage increased from 25% to 175%. And Iron Golem shockwave damage increased from 30% to 40%. So it looks like overall the Golems have had major boosts on the Necromancer side. Paragon board changes for the Hulking Monstrosity. The Golem life and damage bonus increased from 30% to 40% life. And Cult Leader, damage bonus increased from 10% to 15%. So overall, it's looking like there's quite a few Necromancer buffs with respect to class balance here. Moving on to Sorcerer, we have the general ones, miscellaneous class changes, Druid Companions, and Necromancer Minions. Maximum damage over time taken per damage instance reduced from 2% to 1% of maximum life. And the Paragon board changes for rare nodes, players' attack speed nodes reduced by 50%. Glyphs, all glyph bonus scaling has been reduced by 34%, except for the following. Critical strike damage glyph bonus reduced by 66%. Vulnerable glyph bonus reduced by 66%. Glyphs bonus to rare nodes reduced by 50%. Glyphs bonus to magic nodes reduced by 40%. Glyphs bonus to cold, fire, lightning, non-physical, and physical nodes reduced by 62.5%. Some monster changes. Am I reading this right? Hold on a second. Oh, you know what? I messed this up. Okay, so next we have Sorcerer. Let's see, we messed this up. Okay, so for Rogue, skill changes. Twisting Blades. Advanced Twisting Blades cooldown reduction per enemy hit reduced from 0.25 to 0.1 seconds. Advanced Twisting Blades maximum cooldown reduction from 3 to 2 seconds. Rapid Fires, the damage increased from 24% to 30%. Dark Shroud, damage reduction per shadow gain from skill ranks reduced from 0.8 to 0.4%. Dash, enhanced dash, critical strike damage bonus from 20% to 15%. Caltrops, the damage increased from 30% to 40%. Passive changes to the Rogue include concussive, critical strike chance reduced from 5, 10, and 15% to the 4, 8, and 12%. The legendary affix changes for repeating. The maximum minion life lost in a single damage instance reduced from 75, 60, and 45% down to 60, 45, and 30% respectively. And then lastly, the Sorcerer here. Make sure I'm doing this correctly. Here we go. So for the Sorcerer, skill changes. Arc Lash. Lucky hit chance reduced from 30% to 14%. Glinting Arc Lash cooldown reduction reduced from 0.25 to 0.15 seconds. Teleport has had the Shimmering Teleport's damage reduction duration reduced from 5 to 3 seconds. As for legendary affix changes for the Sorcerer, we have the Aspect of Control. The bonus damage reduced from 30% to 40%, down to 25 to 35%. And then I apologize for my mistake earlier, but I started reading the general bug changes, or the patch changes from this patch earlier. So just to recap, changes to Druid Companions and Necromancer Minions. There were Paragon Board changes to rare nodes and glyphs, which I've already read. And then I'll continue here with monster changes. They've significantly reduced the spawn rate of the treasure goblins within PvP zones. There's been some bug fixes. Fixed the name for the light bearer mount. The Go to Shop button from the wardrobe will now properly open the shop. Fixed an issue where if a sorcerer uses Deep Freeze and is affected by another effect that would freeze them, it caused them to be permanently stunned. And miscellaneous stability and crash fixes, which were not delineated in Blizzard's patch notes. Again, I apologize for my mistake in reading there. It is blown up on my screen so that it displays well for you on this video. Let's see here. Okay, so the next build is build 1.0.2e for PC. For stability, they fixed an issue where stuttering could occur on higher-end machines. Miscellaneous fixed an issue where some players couldn't type their locale's language during shop checkout. Moving on to patch 1.0.2f, fixed an issue that prevented players from successfully progressing through the checkout flow for purchases in the shop. And that appears to be all. Build 1.0.2G for PC on June 8th addresses an in-game checkout experience error. Build 1.0.2H for all platforms on June 8th. Various stability and bug fixes. For patch 1.0.2I for all platforms on June 10th. The bug fixes include fixed an issue where Necromancer players would sometimes be stuck at the character selection screen, fixed an issue where control inputs would stop responding when a player teleports or zones in and out of a dungeon, and fixed a graphical issue where black textures would flash after teleporting into specific towns. Alright, and as for patch notes, that's all that's been posted from Blizzard for Diablo 4 as of June 11th, 2023. So I'll be keeping my eye on that. Supposedly there's a big patch coming in the near future. But that being said, that's all I planned on covering tonight. I do have to get up early. Hopefully, I will see you guys in one of my live streams, or at least commenting on a video at some point. So, since we're talking about that, let's see, kill this window, open that window. Here's my YouTube channel, BP Gaming, at BP Gaming Life. I've got a couple of, where's it at here? Got a couple of videos already posted, a couple of live streams already done too. Feel free to check them out if you're bored. Next big thing is my Twitter account, at Brian P Gaming. And, of course, the streaming contacts map, where if you're a player who wants to interact with me and the community that I'm trying to build, I would be happy to put a pin on my map for the city and state that you live in somewhere in the world. You'll just have to find a way to get me that information. The best way is by joining my Discord in the description below this video and sending me a DM if you so wish. But that being said, here's my cool Tyrael wallpaper, and I hope you appreciated me recapping the latest patch notes from Diablo. I'll make sure after I log off that this is the most current build, because I'm probably going to log in and create a character tonight so that I'm ready to go for tomorrow morning. But thanks for watching. I hope you guys appreciated. I'll talk to you soon. Take care and have a good night.